Hey guys, it's me. So I'm doing my first YouTube video. You guys probably noticed all of the videos on our YouTube channel are gone because I want to kind of update a lot of the videos that we had on there before, because they were really old and a lot of things have changed. So I'm trying to do a quick video on how to make sofrito as our first cooking video. So very simple, very easy. You can do this at home. I use my old Cuisinart food processor. You can use a blender. So you gotta excuse the angle here because I'm trying to get you guys to see what I am putting inside the Cuisinart as I'm doing it. So I make a lot of sofrito. I freeze some of it, and so what I do is I have a jar that I keep in the fridge where I'm just gonna drop the stuff as I'm making it. I cut corners. I use pre-peeled garlic because I hate peeling garlic. That's one of my biggest pet peeves, is peeling garlic. It's a waste of time when you can buy it already pre-done, and you can pick that up at any grocery store in the vegetable section. You can just go ahead and pick up a container of pre-peeled garlic. This is the base of what your sofrito is going to be made for. And this you can use in your soups, your rice, you can marinate your meats in it. You can put it as a side sauce. You can use it for just about anything. This is the main base of what Puerto Rican foods are made with. Sofrito. Simple. All right. So what I use is garlic, salad olives with the pimientos in it, and you can use the one also that has the little capers too if you want a little extra flavor. I have everything in my sink, which is clean, by the way, because I have my most favorite colander in the world. I'll show you guys. It's a flat colander, and you can also chop on there, which I think is great. And I got that at Home Goods for like, I don't know, it was like $5, some ridiculously low amount of money. But we're gonna go with the olives. It's a jar of olives, a container of pre-peeled garlic. If you're gonna peel your own, I would say probably about 6 heads of garlic, maybe. 2 green peppers. This is what I use. Everybody makes their sofrito different, but this is what I use. 2 green peppers. A large onion, sometimes 2, depending. I'm gonna use 1 for now. A bunch of cilantro. And when you get cilantro, make sure that you're getting something somewhat organic. It should smell like cilantro, because sometimes you go to the store and you go and you buy the cilantro and it has no smell to it at all. I don't buy that kind of cilantro. To me, there's something wrong with it. There should be a scent to your cilantro. And I also put culantro in it, which is a broadleaf. And this is a little bit harder to find, so if you can't find it, this is what it looks like. If you can't find culantro, you can usually find it at a bodega. I know a lot of people don't have bodegas near their homes. You don't have to use it. I use it because I like the flavor of it. So basically, what I do is I prep my, if I remember how to put the lid on this, I prep this, and the first thing I do is, you're also going to use olive oil, and you can add salt and pepper to it ahead of time, or you can omit the salt and pepper and you can season your food as you're cooking it. So I add some of the garlic into the Cuisinart. Pretty simple. And I just get it going and start adding olive oil to it. make it into basically a paste is what you're doing. So I start with the garlic, and this will get full, and as it gets full, I start to empty it out into my container, which is why I have a big container. You can use a big pot to put everything in. You can make a small amount too if you don't want to use the bigger amount. I tend to save these jars because I'll reuse them to freeze the sofrito in as I'm done with it. So I chop up that, I add a little bit more. I don't really measure stuff, so it's kind of hard for me to really give measurements on this. I kind of go with it. Then I'm gonna add this. But what I do, you can strain it out, but I actually like to use some of the water, so I'm gonna just pour some of the water in here. Also adds a little bit of extra flavor to it. And then just gonna dump out the rest. Probably about half of the jar to start with. I'll end up using the entire jar. Just again because I make a lot of sofrito, and it's because I typically, you know, the kids come and pick up sofrito, and I send some to my in-laws, so the water from the olives is gonna just add a little extra moisture to your mix. You don't need it to be too watery, but you don't want it to be dry. And then I kind of let it go for a little while. You'll notice this is from me using, making agua de Jamaica, basically, which I'll do on another recipe. That's why that spoon is red. But just take a spoon or a spatula. You just want to go around the sides and make sure that all of what you have in here is somewhat relatively chopped up good. At this point, I just start to empty this out into the container just to make it a little bit less messy, because this stuff will get all over the place. So just chopping up the garlic first. You want to use a wide neck container to put all your stuff in, because it's just going to be easier. And again, this is the recipe that I use. Everybody does their stuff different. This just happens to be what I use to make mine. So the next thing I'm going to drop in there is some of my cilantro. You don't have to cut the bottoms off. You can if you want. I'm gonna throw some of the garlic, some of the onion in here, since we already have the garlic. And I'm going to throw some of the culantro, which is wet because I rinsed it off. Make sure you wash all of this really good. You know, you don't want random shit in there. So that's where we're going here. And again, you can chop your stuff up smaller if it's easier. you're finding that your mix is getting a little bit, it's not kind of blending in, just add a little olive oil to it and it'll start to blend up. You guys are gonna see Archer jump on me in about 5 seconds because he's been nicely sitting in the background. I'm gonna just add a couple of, like 4. I know, you don't have to add the salt. I just add it because it makes my life easier when I go to cook. I don't have to worry about adding salt. I add some pepper. Black pepper, you can use the peppercorns if you want to. Mix it down yourself like that. If not, you can just use your basic, no frills, black pepper. I use green peppers. And what I do to make my life easier, because I don't have a lot of counter space, is that I usually have a bag that's hanging off of the drawer in the counter, which is where I drop everything as I'm cutting. So whatever bits I don't want to use, you just drop them in there. Or if I'm going on my other counter, which is a little bit bigger, what I do is I have a, I basically have a bowl that I use for scraps. So try to get as much of the seeds as you can off. Not that big of a deal. If you leave the seeds in there, just don't leave the little sticker on there because I tend to do that. As I'm starting to see this go up, then I'll just start to pour it into the other jar. And here's Archer, my assistant. Again. Through the mix, I just go in, and again I want to check for big chunks because you don't want big chunks of stuff inside your sofrito. As you can tell, this is pretty full. I try not to go over that the little blade thing, but I do have a couple pieces here that are kind of big, so I'm gonna just blend this down. I'm just gonna take and start putting this also into my container. This part of it is gonna be a little bit more fluid-like, you know, watery. And you're gonna see how much of this I just made with 2 bunches of cilantro, 1 large onion, 2 peppers, a can of olives, salt and pepper, some culantro if you can get your hands on it. Again, sometimes getting your hands on culantro is a little bit difficult. This thing, I don't use this that often. I really only use it to make sofrito. Let me just wipe my hands before I touch my shirt so I don't smell like garlic. And you just keep repeating this process until it's all mixed in. So I have not done a video that's this long. Mind you, you see me cutting stuff, it's already washed. I pre-washed everything before I started the video to cut time. So, and the onion I pre-peeled and cut. So you want to do that. And again, pretty simple recipe. There's really no excuse for your food not to have any kind of flavor to it. Because this takes all of 20 minutes. I think the hardest thing is finding the ingredients when you're going out and about. So I'm going to turn this on again and just continue putting in the different ingredients. That's really it, guys. It's taken me from beginning to end about 20 minutes to make, because I'm doing this video. This is the only reason why it's taken me so long to do this. But again, I just take it, put it all in my container, and I'm just going to show you. You know, then you just got to mix it well. Once you get all your stuff made. I know a lot of people sell sofrito, you know, don't buy it. Make it yourself. You know, it's not that hard to make. Everybody thinks sofrito for some reason is some kind of magical recipe. It's very simple to make. You can make a ton of it. Again, I make a lot because I have children who come and pick up jars of it, or you know, I give it to some to my in-laws, so it gets around. And I usually make a batch like this once a month or so, depending on how much I cook. It can last a really long time in your refrigerator, and again, it's very freezable. You can put it in ice cube trays and freeze it in basically what you're going to use. Take 2 cubes out, you can use it to do your arroz con habichuela or arroz con gandules or whatever it is you want. So the hardest part of making sofrito, again, is just finding the ingredients. But it really isn't rocket science. Don't buy it. Make it yourself. Sometimes when you make stuff, you put a little love in there and it comes out perfect. And everybody has their different recipes for sofrito. Again, it's not that hard. Use what's available. Garlic is the base. Cilantro is the base. And after that, sorry guys, I'm just got messages popping on my phone. After you're done with finding the cilantro and the garlic, everything else that you're putting in there is whatever you want to put in. I use, again, salt, pepper, garlic, onions, green peppers. Sometimes I use red peppers if I have them on hand, depending on what I have. Jar of capers, just because I rather have them like this in the food than actually throwing them all in there. Culantro, if you can get your hands on it. Again, that's a very difficult thing to find. Usually you can find it on in the bodegas, but they're hard to come by. So that's it, guys. That is my recipe for today. Have Archer over here being my assistant, and now he needs to drink water because every time I turn the water on, he has to come over here to stick his head into it. So, alright guys, I will let you go make your sofrito. Let me know how it goes, what you think about it. Nothing in this house is made without feathers in it. So, yeah, you come to my house, you can find feathers on everything. But that's it, guys. Very simple recipe. Do it up, make it your own, and enjoy it. Let me know if you made the recipe in the comments below, what you thought about it, or if you make your recipe different. I would love to find out what you use in yours. So until next time, guys, bye.